Hello folks, welcome, I'm Filler B, welcome to the channel, and welcome to the new Stellaris DLC Overlord. Today I thought we would explore one of the new um, origins, the Teachers of the Shroud. They are a psychically oriented origin, uh, giving our species a latent psychic ability, which gives us engineering research from jobs, physics research from jobs, society research from jobs, and more energy credits. It says the species has latent psychic abilities, which are dormant in most of its members, although quite rare, these powers will manifest in some leaders, which I thought was really cool. I also went with an aquatic species. I haven't played with an aquatic species yet, um, and started them on an ocean world to explore that new mechanic with the aquatic trait, which gives them ocean habitability plus 20%. Housing usage on Osage worlds and flooded habitats are negative 10%, and I've seen some visuals for the flooded habitats, and they look very cool with water in the windows and such. Food, energy, and mineral output on ocean worlds are plus 10%, so that'll be really helpful. However, housing usage and habitability on non-wet worlds will be less than optimal. And we also get access to something called the hydrocentric ascension perk, which amplifies these traits effects, which I think is cool. I also thought, since I'm going for sort of an idea of creatures from the deep ocean who have come out into space but have discovered sort of latent psychic abilities and the shroud within the deep of the ocean, the mysterious place in the world's oceans, I went for some ideas around that I thought suited that sort of species type. So conservationists down in the deep ocean, things are much more sensitive to being disturbed, and there's sort of an ecosystem that needs to be maintained. So the idea that the species believes that resources must be conserved and recycled, I think fits into that idea, giving the species lower consumer pop usage. Also, being very sedentary sort of suits the deep ocean. They don't sort of zip around a lot. They tend to sit in one place and wait for food to come to them. So having this sedentary trait, negative trait, I think suits the thing. It only gives low on immigration and resettlement costs. And then, of course, natural sociologist. I figured being in the deep ocean and being sort of interested scientists and explorers and looking inward, this idea of exploring society and an inclination towards biological studies and sociological studies, I think sort of suits the race as well. I've picked a democratic race because I think they want to be sort of friendly federation builders kind of idea. And so I picked the angler trait for that to go with that, to play on this sort of ocean world idea um, with where they get increased to farmers are changed, and anglers and pearl divers are added there for more food and trade value and consumer goods on these worlds. As well as I picked up the parliamentary system because I sort of picked this sort of democratic debate kind of idea that I'm going for with this species as well, where they have more faction unity gain and faction start up earlier in your empire. For the other traits for this government, I picked up fanatic xenophiles. Again, I want them to be like faction builders and seeking out other life in the world to see if other people are psychic, and maybe touching the shroud made them want to feel that they wanted to explore the universe to see what else is out there, what other mysteries are out there. Um, and so this gives them higher trade value and available envoys. Um, but we can't enslave or displace people. We can't have no mercenaries, and it increases our opinion with other species, which I think suits. And then, of course, spiritualist, because if you're going to be touching the shroud, you should probably be spiritualist. And I think there's a requirement for that anyhow. And so this fits in here, but I didn't want them to be fanatic spiritualists, where they whatever think that their necessary spiritual connection to the universe is number one, but they are certainly a part of who they are as a species, and so they get increased monthly unity, lower edict upkeeps, and lower edict costs, which I think are neat, and they can build temples. So this is the species I'm going for. The neat flag sort of has a look like they're a creature coming out from the waves from the deep, I thought. So I figured that looked cool. So let's see what kind of universe we're getting. I'm going to go with a huge universe with a spiral 4 arms. Everything else is pretty much set to default. The only thing else I've changed was getting rid of the Caravaneers because I find them kind of more annoying than actually useful in a gameplay. And getting rid of Xeno compatibility because I find this slows down the game in the late game. Other than that, everything stays the same. So let's see what kind of universe we get. So I think initially it's going to be a lot of expansion and exploration, as well as exploring the Shroud idea that comes with the initial setup. So let's see what universe we've gotten ourselves set up into here. Alright, so the Union of the Deep, Teachers of the Shroud. In the midst of our forebears, speak of the teachers, beings of great knowledge and power who helped us shape our earliest civilization. Through dreams, they approached us from afar, sharing the wisdom of the Shroud and its teachings. Now our teachers have reached out once again, seeking our dreams with eldritch visions. They have provided us with a key to interstellar travel. In just a few years, we have built vessels capable of traversing the void. But how much farther is it possible to go? Our teachers refer to a shroud tunnel, a natural wormhole that sits on the edge of their home system. Spawning our own tunnel should give us a direct path to the teachers themselves. May they continue to grant us wisdom, and we take our first steps into the galactic stage. Very cool backstory, and we'll have to explore this idea of the teachers. Not sure why that tutorial stuff popped up. So incoming transition from Elder Heket Ak Betek. They have some really strange names in here. The true apprentices. Our students, for generations we have taught you, seeding our knowledge of the Shroud and its mysteries within your dreams. Now that you have reached the stars, your true apprenticeship is at hand. The path forward will not be an easy one. To light the way, we grant you knowledge of the Shroud Beacon, a device of great power. Once built on one of your star bases, the beacon will spawn a Shroud tunnel, choosing its location carefully, as you will not be able to spawn another. In times of needs and uncertainty, call on us. In dreams, we will be watching. In waking life, we await your arrival. We receive your gift of gratitude, I should say. We get the access to the Shroud Beacon. Alright, let's take a look at our home system here. Looks like we're a single star. A fairly standard home system. Let's take our construction chip. Mine these minerals so we can get other things built. Let's take our science ship, go to the galactic screen, see where we are. Looks like we're on the one of the inner part of one of the spirals here, which is okay. Glad we're not in a corner. Let's explore towards the center, I think, with this guy. So we'll head over here, we'll survey, and then we'll survey that. Let's pick some technology. So I think our first technology here, I don't think we need blue laser yet. It's a little early. We haven't met anybody. We don't have very many outposts, so this one doesn't seem that useful. So let's go for the physics research. For society research, oh, here's a psionic theory that we get for being a psionic race. Also input from farmers. I don't think we need that yet. We're pretty good on farming. Pop growth is always good. And unity is also good. Let's go for unity first, I think, and then we can get those societal stuff pretty early. And then for the engineering research, again, research is pretty good. I don't think we need the guns for the same reason as before. And again, we don't have mining stations, and we are Are we in a nebula? I don't think we're in a nebula, so not as useful here. So let's go for the research on research. Super. All right. Let's take a look at our space station here. It said we could build something. I'm wondering if it shows up right away. Not there. The Shroud beacon. So this beacon, a psionic beacon, used to spawn a Shroud tunnel in a system. While the Shroud beacon may be dismantled or destroyed, the tunnel itself cannot be removed. So it costs 500 alloys and 25 rare crystals. And it's an upkeep of 3. I don't think we'll build this right away, but it's good to know that it's available, and it's one of these upper buildings here, the unique buildings. Got a small fleet here, which I think we'll ignore for a little while. And then on our home world, we seem to be in pretty good shape. I'll wait for a little while to build up some minerals before we can build anything here. But I think first we're going to get another science ship. So let's do that now. So we can explore a little more. And then we'll unpause the game. I'll put it up to speed 2. And then we'll see what we discover. Looks like we have another ocean world right next to us at Zurak. Oh, and our factions have founded. Let's take a look at them. This is part of our democratic and parliamentary system. So the factions list, if I can never remember where this is. Here we are, factions. So the Alliance of the True Gospel. Looks like they are a religious faction. They look for a population that's all spiritualists, having spiritual values, and not having robotic workers. Interesting. Peace and Prosperity Association. This sounds like it's a fanatic xenophile faction. Looks like they just want us to be at peace. Probably a pacifist. And the last one, Alien Rights Party. This is probably the fanatic xenophile again. They don't want any purging, which is fine. Enclaves. They want enclaves in our borders. Sure, I can try and look for that. They want a new contact. Of course, we'd like to see new people. Proactive first contact policies. Of course, we want to be just friendly when we meet new people. And benevolent subjugation. Of course, if we end up subjugating anybody. So it looks like we got pretty good factions here. Everybody seems relatively pleased, except for these guys, but I can't make them any happier because they don't have anything else they want. So we'll just ignore that for now. Alright, let's unpause and continue. Let's see what our ship discovers. Oh, we got our new science ship. Let's grab a new leader. Now with the new patch, I think it was a couple of patches ago, or updates ago, they changed the way leaders were recruited. It used to be they were recruited with energy credits. So you would build up 200 energy credits and you can get a new leader. And it was always 200 energy credits. And I found that pretty useful. But now they've changed that to unity. So you need 200 unity. So you got to sacrifice unity and not get yourself one of these traditions and eventually an ascension perk as early if you want a leader. And I think that's okay. But it certainly slows down the early game. But as you can see, you can build Unity pretty quickly early on. But we got an anomaly on that first system. Challenging, that's going to take too long to do. So let's leave it for now. We'll come back to that one later. And we completed a mining station. Oh, look, we got a Spark of Genius. Our other leaders, yeah, none of them have a Spark of Genius already. In fact, this one, the leader lifespan of 25 years, is not that useful in its researching role. So why don't we grab the scientist here with good research and grab this one in the engineering role that's just got leader lifespan and stick them in a ship, perhaps. Let's take a look at this one. Actually, this one with the research speed, no, research speed is good. Yeah, we'll keep that. And this one is in society and has a society perk, so that's good. So this one I think is the one we'll take for the new science ship because they don't need to be there. And then we'll replace that one with the new one who's actually better at research, giving plus 10 research for um, our engineering research, which is quite good. So we got one ship going this way, so let's have this ship go this way. We'll explore this system with our possible habitable world here. Then we'll explore this system over here at Fuo. And then we'll maybe survey down to this one, and we'll get a little triangle here and see what's going on. All right, construction ship. So let's grab the... Oh, I can't get the mining station yet. So let's have you at least move over to the mining station here. Construction ship, yeah. So that we're ready to go when we have enough minerals. We need 100 minerals to do it, and we only have 44, so we gotta wait a bit. So we're looking at the hyperlane paths here. Looks like we got 2 directions to go this way. This would be a good choke point to secure early. And then moving one direction or another. So I'll probably want another science ship, one to go this way and one to go this way to explore. Also looks like we can move out this way a bit. This might be a dead end over here. But judging by the way this looks, because this is the arm, right? If you pull this out, you can see the 4 arms spiraling out. And so the stars and the hyperlanes are clustered around these arms with some interconnection between them in parts. But mostly they're on one sort of interconnected path here. Oh, how come we can see these? Oh, we can see the Shroud enclaves around the universe. That's interesting. Oh, there's another one up here. Anyhow, like I was saying, the hyperlanes tend to be clustered within the arms when you have this sort of spiral shape. But there will be some connections, like there's probably a connection here between this arm and this arm. But there's probably no connection here between this arm and this arm, for instance, or no connection here. So there's probably some more connections up here from some of these spots. There may not be, so I should probably send a ship out here too. While this one explores this way, I may get a 4th ship and head over here. Anyhow, let's take a look at our traditions. So I like to pick the first tradition depending on what I want to do immediately. So expansion is pretty good early on because it gives you lower Starblaze influence costs. So that's every system that you want to pick up and add to your empire. It lowers that by 10%, which can save you a lot of influence in the long run. Also, if we're going to colonize a planet early, getting this colonization fever trait gives us 1 extra pop on a system, which makes that system move into more usefulness much earlier, which is very helpful for the empire. Because early on, colonies tend to be kind of wimpy, and they tend to be a drain on your empire until they get to build up some resources and capacity and population. So, and the other one I like to take early is, we haven't met anybody yet, so diplomacy is not that useful, is discovery, because that gives you an immediate bonus to research speed on anomalies. So that those are the things that their science ships are investigating. And then you can get the To Boldly Go trait, which gives you increased survey speed and science disengage chance. So this is really helpful because it makes your science ships explore systems much quicker, so that you can expand your realm of knowledge of what's around you much faster and be able to claim territory if you have the influence faster. And if you run into lots of dangerous creatures out there, because there's lots of things like crystal entities and amoebas and so on, mining drones, that can destroy your science ships, this gives you a better chance of survival, so it preserves your leaders. The ships are kind of inconsequential, but it's the leaders you don't want to die, because they build up experience over time, and you want good leaders to last as long as they can. And so this is pretty good. I think I'll probably take this one off the bat, because I want this trait right away. The only problem with discovery is that some of these later ones are not all that useful early in the game, like researcher upkeep or research subsidies, or even the leader experience gain. Not that super useful early game. Anyhow, let's take this discovery tradition, and then we'll see where we go from here. We don't quite have enough minerals yet to hook up this last um, energy thing, and I just closed that by accident. I'm so used to playing on my own that it gets that I skip these sort of events because I read them all before, or most of them. So it looks like our precursors are the Yahut. It says we have recovered artifacts from the Yahut Empire. They were an ancient civilization that inhabited a portion of the galaxy roughly 6 million years ago. Physically, the Yahut were very large and flat anthropod analogs. A single individual could reach a length of nearly 100 meters as an adult. It was apparently exceedingly rare for more than two of these Yahut to travel aboard the same starship. If we can find enough relics of their civilization, it may be possible to pinpoint the location of their home system. I don't remember what the outcome of this system is, but we're going to be sent on sort of a little wild goose chase here, where we got to research anomalies in various star systems around sort of our general area, but it could be a little distance away. So we have to research 6 of them before we discover the homeworld, which is usually a very good system to discover. So we'll try and do this as well. Well, it looks like our democratic government would like us to refine minerals. So they want at least 30 minerals a month. Right now we're doing 11. I don't know how possible this is, but we'll give it a try. Construction ship, looks like you're ready to go. So let's build a mining station here to get a little bit more energy. Bring us up to 44 or 43 because these stations require maintenance themselves. So it looks like we got remnants. The deep dwelling xenologists are practically falling over themselves to publish their take on the recent findings of alien life. This fevered storm in the scientific community has some negative yet temporary impact on the pursuits of other fields. It's interesting. I guess our race is discovering new people for the first time. Our first contact protocols, of course, us being the friendly spiritualists who want to create federations and build relationships with other alien species and spread the word of the Shroud. Want to have good first meetings. So we will greet other Xenos with open arms. It says recent encounter with alien life forms has reignited and made suddenly more urgent the old debate about how we should approach contacting any potentially intelligent alien civilizations we may meet. It seems a little odd since we're already in contact with one through the Shroud, but I guess this is sort of just standard wording. Some are advocate focusing on establishing friendly relations as quickly as possible by contacting them with a message of peace. Others advise caution, pointing out that we cannot know whether aliens bear ill intent towards us and that it will be unwise to let them know too much about us before it is necessary. I think we should be open arms, because that's who we are. So under this, we cannot attack neutral entities. Other empires will find it easier to establish communications with us, and we gain 50% more influence from each successful first contact process. And our first contact discovery speed is increased by plus 10%. That's when we meet a new alien, then we send an envoy over to meet them, and we can discover who they are. Because right in this version of Stellaris, we don't immediately know who the new aliens are. We have to discover who they are, break the language barrier, form lines of communication, and discover who they are. And then once we've done that, as sort of a project, we get to see who their empire are and have normal communications with them. All right. So I'm going to send somebody else this way. So I'm going to divert this science ship out this way to discover what's going on further down the spiral. And with that, I think it brings us to the end of my first episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon for the next episode of Stellaris. Have a great day.